Welcome back to the channel. Our last video you saw that we had kind of a mishap coming down the road coming from Utah to Arkansas on the trip back because the roads are so rough. So the refrigerator, these are big heavy wood panels, and this one is missing because if you saw our last video, you'd know that it fell off because the roads are so stinking rough. But there it is right down there, just the big wooden panel. It's so heavy. So what I have is a solution. First I got to take this off, and I have some metal panels that I'm going to put back in here that are, the metal panels are magnetic, so we'll be able to use magnets. So that's going to be good. We can put our magnets up on the refrigerator. But here's the panels that I bought. It's actually just flashing, like for roofing. It's galvanized, and I always heard that you can't paint galvanized metal, or you shouldn't because it'll flake off, but there is paint that will paint galvanized, and I found some at Lowe's. It's called Fusion 5 times stronger adhesion. It's a gloss white. It's Krylon. But yeah, that's some good stuff. I bought 2 cans. It only took 1 can, but I bought the second can just for a backup. But it's 20 inches wide and it was 10 feet long, the roll of flashing. And I just cut out the pieces that I needed. So here's one here. You can see that it's it's really thin. Hopefully it'll hold up, but I'll put some white glossy paint on it. I painted it yesterday. So there's that for the bottom piece, and this one's for the top. The glue I'm going to use is just some Gorilla Glue, some heavy duty construction adhesive, but it'll cure within 24 hours and it'll hold. But in the meantime, the Eternabond tape is what I'm going to use to kind of help hold it in place. So here we go. So the first thing I have to do is obviously this one doesn't need to come off because it already fell off, but this wood panel here, I have to take it off. One of the ways I can do it, there's screws underneath here. Try to let all I just defrosted the refrigerator yesterday, so I don't want to get a bunch of frost back in there, so I'm kind of trying not to hold it open too long. But basically there's just 3 screws in the bottom here. So I'll get those out, and then I'm going to pull this panel out. See, this has little plastic pegs that were holding this one in place. There's one there, and this one keeps it from falling out. I guess there's a reason why this one didn't come out already. Oh, there we go. That one was in there actually pretty well. Look how well they glued it from the manufacturer. 1, 2. So these are fairly heavy pieces of wood. This is a diesel rig, so it's made for heavier items, but this is unnecessarily heavy. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put that Eternabond tape on the back of the panels so that they'll stick until the glue dries, and then I'm gonna glue it up and just stick it up there. So now all I got to do is put the panel on and hold it for 30 to 60 seconds, although the Eternabond tape is going to hold it. But I just want to kind of make sure the glue sets and gets smashed out kind of evenly. This is the only downside of this metal is it's so thin, and if you pushed on it really hard, you could put a dent in it. So they had another piece of metal that you could buy that was twice as thick, but it was $60 just for one piece. That would have covered the bottom. I'd had to buy 2 of them, so it would have been $120. Whereas this roll just cost $20. So I've never done this before, so we'll see how this works. All I gotta do now is just put this little piece on the bottom, little trim piece, 3 little screws, then I'm gonna put the bottom piece on too. So when I was researching, whether or not you could paint galvanized metal. One of the tips that somebody said is to wash it down with white vinegar first. So that's what I did with this, with the metal. I washed it down with white vinegar. I don't know if it did any good or not. It didn't look any different, but I did it. So, and I also put 2 coats of this really, really good solid paint. The paint said you can paint all metals, so including galvanized. So I didn't really have to do that, but it does seem to, so far, of course I haven't tested over the long haul, but it does seem like the paint stuck really well. Just a little tip for you, wipe it down with white vinegar first if you use galvanized metal. So now that we got this on here, it's so nice to be able to put magnets on it now, because we bought magnets we hadn't been able to use yet. There's one that we bought in New Hampshire. So that worked out just perfectly. So now I got to stick the last panel on there and then we'll be good to go. On this one I'll put 6 pieces of Eternabond tape, so 2, 4, and then 6 down here. And like I said, that's just to hold it in place until the glue dries, till the Gorilla Glue sets. So here's the finished product. Looks pretty good. This is one of those examples of when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, because these panels were really, really heavy. And if you have an older RV, an older diesel rig especially, you may have wooden panels. Those things are really heavy. And so at least with this method here, this is much lighter weight, and it's durable, and it looks good, and it's magnetic. So now we can, when we go to gift shops, we don't have to just buy stickers, we can get magnets too. Although I'm not sure how the magnets are going to hold up going down the road on these rough roads. So we'll see. On some of the, like the flat magnets that are, the whole thing is a magnet, those will probably stick pretty good, but some of them have the little round magnets on the back. Those may cause a problem. We're going to head down to Austin soon for our next work job, so stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video or got some use out of it, just give us a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and follow along for our adventures. And in the meantime, live in the sunshine.